So, my commoner friends, I owe you the sincerest of apologies because when I did my set review out of the Hunted, oops, I just so happened to miss 3 little cards that looked like draft chaff on initial pass and were literally at the end of the list. But these might actually be some of the most impactful commons from the set. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my flesh and blood friends, and welcome back to the channel for another installment, that's right, of Dice Commando. And today I'm falling on my, I would say sword, but I think appropriately so, my mini axe. Because, you know, if you all haven't been here for the whole 5 years, shocking, I know, we collectively, and by we, I call this Minnow the Dwarf. It was kind of a joke for a long time, like on our Discord and stuff, but I think Minnow the Dwarf works. Anyway, Minnow has actually returned in the Hunted in a very small way. See what I did there? So witty. So witty, but that's right. So like I said, I do owe you a bit of an apology because when I did my, you know, best commoner cards from the Hunted rundown, which I think was legitimate for the statements, but I completely missed these 3 little cards. And to be clear, not all of them are as good as the other ones. And also, today is a commoner chat disguised as like a real chat because Nip at the Heels is like a legit meta staple card, and I'm just gonna say it drives me crazy. And by meta staple, I mean like it's gonna go into Dorinthea. I don't know why I said meta staple. It constructed staple. I think every warrior is gonna end up running this card, and it drives me crazy because the art on this card is, let's just say, not up to the normal flesh and blood standards. In fact, the dude has 2 left feet. So that's a thing. Anyway, moving on from that fact, this card, let's just go on your screen, left to right. This card is really good. So Nip at the Heels is 0, blue, blocks 3. Well, inherently, that demands our attention. And I want to be clear, the only reason I didn't get to they just straight up looked like draft chaff. They were at the end of the generics. They were blues. I fell into the trap, okay? I did. This card's freaking legit. So target attack with 3 or less base gets +1. So the reason this is good, not just in commoner, but in constructed, but I'll make the arguments for commoner because that's why we're here, right? So if you look at Kassai, you look at Dorinthea, whatever, in commoner, the vast majority of them are running either Iron Song Response or Second Swing, or sometimes both, because you need the blue that blocks 3 and it can give you 1 conditionally. This is just straight better because it gives you 1 on the front or the second swing, regardless of if you're running Dawnblade or Cintauri or Hot Streak or blah, blah, blah. I mean, those are pretty much the ones, but you get my point. This card is so good, dude. Wow. I can't believe I missed this. And it's so unfortunate, like I said, that the art is what it is. And I said I'd move on, but we're here again. Now, the one in the middle, put in context, which is funny because we're going to put this one into context. This can only defend and attack with 3 or less base, but it's a blue D-react with 3, which is actually very interesting because the current curve is 0-2 with something. So the question is that 0-2, and this is the one that's like ish, right? But it is interesting, you have to admit. So even if you compare it to some of the M's out there, right? Like a 0-2, if they've drawn 2 cards, do the thing. That's a condition. Now, getting +1 is not as good as drawing a card, but interesting. The thing is, though, to be fair, this condition means you can't even use the card if they haven't done the thing. So it's like it's not 1-to-1 at all. But this is an above curve card with restriction. And if I'm being honest, I think like who's one of the best heroes in commoner? It's Ira. If she throws a 2 that goes to a 3, or a 3 that goes to a 4, that's kind of a thing, right? That's pretty good, I think. And I do think Ira is going to be changing up her play plan quite a bit in Commoner with all this dagger stuff, which is very interesting to see where it's going to go. So I know that this card on paper isn't necessarily like a Windmill Slam, but this is a very interesting card. And in this case, to put in context, oh man, the puns. It's not even really a pun. It's just me trying to be witty and failing. But either way, put this one in context of the Commoner format, good. Put it in context of the CC format, meh. But nip at the heels. Oh. And then, that's right, the Minnow theme. I'm even going to make it go away just for a second. Appreciate Minnow the Dwarf in all of his glory. I'm telling you, one day I'm going to get James's ear. We're going to get Minnow the Dwarf as a Blitz only hero because I feel that that's appropriate. Right? He'll have 5 health but swing for 40. Seems about right. Either way, let's move on. You can see that Minnow is trotting along. So your next attack with 3 or less base gets go again, and then this has go again. So let's just stick with me. From a warrior context, only because we're talking about that from Nip at the Heels, this is functionally a blue hit and run, right? It's actually a worse hit and run because it doesn't give the bonus on the back. But you know where I'm really interested in this one is, and we've talked about this. It was when I was in New Orleans. It was like a year and change ago. I talked about Nebula Blade Viscerai. Well, now that's kind of interesting, isn't it? So you can Nebula Blade Viscerai off of this. So it's a blue block 3. You could give Nebula Blade a go again. And with the blue that you pitched, you could come with Consuming or a Meet and Greet or whatever the kids are fancying these days. I think that's very interesting. Come on, you got to give me some like acknowledgement on that. That's very interesting, right? We already had I got to go into the deep machine. So visit the blacksmith and on a knife's edge. Oh, those are the cards. I did it. Visit the blacksmith and on a knife's edge. I actually talked about those in the Nebula Blade concept, like what if build. Oh, I think that's very interesting. That should be ringing to somebody who loves Viscerai and wants to play him in Commoner, especially because Home Slice is done in Blitz and will likely be done in CC here very soon. And your outlet, if you don't want to go play the most degenerate format of all time, LL, come play with us in Commoner and get that Nebula Blade to work. Very interesting. And there's a lot of other options too. I mean, just straight up, any attack with 3 or less base gets go again. Again, in the Viscerai thing, I think it's best used on Nebula Blade, but you could probably see like in, I don't know, my head, in the moment I'm shooting this, my head is on Runeblades and like, was that a Thorn and all that stuff. But this is very interesting. Oh man, these cards, I cannot believe I missed these cards. I know how it happened. It's because they looked like draft chaff to me. But these cards are not draft chaff. And wowzer. So anyway, my friends, I think this will serve as a good Commoner midweek video. Let me know what you're thinking in terms of exploring options with these 3, shall we say, near garbage cards. The art on 2 of them is really good. The art on the other one it's art. It's a picture. Anyway, let me know what you're thinking. And go Commando.